Hello everyone and welcome to the 665 show, episode 5. My name is Keith, hello. His name is Mark, say hello Mark.
Hello.
And his name is Richard, say hello Richard.
Hello, how are you?
That's lovely of you. Well, this is the 665 show, and we are your hosts, and we thought that as this is probably the first time you're listening to it, unless you're one of 4 people, we would like to take you by the hand and just give you a brief explanation of what exactly it is you've gotten yourself into here. The 665 itself is what I would consider a satirical, dark-hearted look at the events of the past week, and a platform for the 3 of us to complain about just pretty much everything. And not just to complain, but to also discuss things. Would you agree, gentlemen? Would you say that's about right?
Well, to right,
I think that's
gentlemen.
a marvellous summing up.
I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah, we make shows, you listen to the shows, there's no strings, and it's free. And well, if you don't like it, well, you've probably been offended, so... don't worry about it. If you do like us on the Facebook thing, which is facebook.com/the665 show. You can follow us on Twitter, which is twitter.com/the665 show. And obviously you're on the YouTube page, so like and subscribe to that. We are hoping to push out episodes once every 2 weeks on a Sunday, but obviously if you follow us on all the social media garbage, you'll be able to see when exactly we're going to do it. And if you'd like to contact the show, you can email us at the665show@gmail.com, when you can email us any kind of questions and we'll answer those live, as we're about to do today. But before that, on with the show. We start each week by asking each other what we've been up to. So, Mark, what have you been up to?
Not a great deal, Keith. Just the usual. Trying to shine the bright light of truth onto the subject of religion by using my artistic endeavours. So I was, basically spent the week painting a picture of the Prophet Muhammad as a contestant on Take Me Out.
Coming down the tube thing, the elevator. That's really good. That's awesome.
40 women? The 40 women?
Yeah, all of them virgins. Now, you might say that's a bit of a hate crime, but I've really captured some of Vernon Kay's inner darkness, and I'm quite proud of it.
Seeing as Vernon Kay doesn't host it, I'm hoping you're thinking that Vernon Kay is the Prophet Muhammad.
The Prophet Muhammad.
He's one of the contestants.
He's from Bolton.
It's right.
Prophet Muhammad hailed from Bolton, didn't he?
I believe so. I believe that is the case. Richard, what have you been up to?
What I've been doing is, like Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
I've invested all my money in beer mats.
Oh, very nice.
I've been doing,
anything special that you've got out of these? Any special kind of beer mats, or have you just bought, all the same?
I've sound a bit ostentatious here, I'm blowing my own trumpet, but we're thinking of a heptagonal one.
Whoa. Wow, that is... I wish you the very best with that, mate, and I hope it only goes well for you. I truly do. When you say we, have you developed some form of small business force?
No. When I say we, I just wanted to make it sound like I'm not as lonely as I am.
Oh, okay.
I've done it all on my own. What I've been doing is every time I get a bill that proves to me that I'm even more and more in debt, I cry on it, and I sort of inadvertently make a paper mache, and that's what I've been fashioning my beer mats from.
So when I said, is there anything you've been up to and you've invested all your money into beer mats, what you actually meant to say was you've been crying into bills again and making paper mache again.
Crying into Bill's what? That's what you want to know, though, isn't it? Into his crotch.
Yeah.
For all you listeners out there, if you don't know who Bill is, basically it's Will I Am.
Yeah, it is. True that. True that.
Fair, Will I Am.
Does he host Take Me Out?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Thought he did.
And he enforces Sharia law.
Oh, he loves a bit of it. Anyone want to ask me what I've been up to? Because you're shouting at me.
Yes, what have you been up to?
Yeah. Don't know. The usual. We all went out. I'm surprised none of you have mentioned that. We all went out together.
It's topic related.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? I remember that.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a Chinese. I spotted Guan Yu, God of War.
Steve Jenkins, it was.
No, Guan Yu, God of War, not Steve Jenkins, actually. Incredibly offensive, that. Incredibly offensive, Mark. I told the Chinese man, and he was dead impressed, wasn't
He was impressed, actually, yeah. He never got anything off the bill.
He found a lot of deference as he was handing you the bill. He said, "Oh, that's very good, Keith," as he handed the bill.
Yeah.
I was proud. I was really proud. The show is somewhat planned to a point. We talk about what we've been up to, then we talk about what's been happening in the news, and then we just kind of spin off and just go crazy and just start talking about some things that we'd like to talk about.
Spoil the illusion.
There's no illusion here. We may be under one, but the people listening aren't. So the news this week that's been happening, obviously it's been about 2 weeks since we've done it, so there's quite a lot of news. Justin Bieber, gentlemen. That's not the name of something itself, but Justin Bieber has been arrested again, this time for drink driving. Have either of you seen the video of him drink driving?
No. I'm completely
Keith.
ignorant of him. Who is he?
He's a young American...
you lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me at young.
More young.
You keep that story. That's your story and you're saying to me. But anyway, this rich little fucker who's worth loads and loads of money and he's very annoying or whatnot. But he was caught drink driving. But he was racing at the time, and he was racing with all his incredibly rich entourage. So what it was a street in Beverly Hills with about 5 Lamborghini Murcielagos just going kind of fast in a drag race style, like up and down. And he was, he was done for that. And then apparently they found some weed or some shit in his house and everything, and everyone's really distraught.
Oh, I don't really want to speak about this because it's blatantly publicity stunt. It's a blatant publicity stunt.
Yeah, don't give him the oxygen of publicity, Keith Hughes, because it's important to him that shows like this mention him. That's how he keeps selling his god awful music to prepubescent girls.
Yeah, you're right. He's a cunt. On to the next one. Ukraine. I'm looking at you, Ukraine. Come on, calm down. Right, on to the next one.
Ukraine. We are talking about Ukraine, the country, aren't we?
The country, yeah.
You haven't got a crane in your room there, with you?
Ukraine. Yeah, they've been kicking off a bit, haven't they? For not being able to join the European Union there, I believe that's right. Been kicking off. But there was a lovely story I wanted to share with you, gentlemen. I will ask Europeans in a bit, but it was a lovely story. As a man and a woman actually got married on the front of the riot lines. They actually got married. They got blessed there. How lovely is that?
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful, isn't it? You know, it's just people fighting against things stronger than themselves, and they're cementing their love on that, and that's beautiful. What do you think about Ukraine, Rich? What do you think about them all rioting at the moment because they can't be part of the EU?
Oh, I mean, the only thing that springs to mind with me is that if you're having a wedding there,
Yep.
Do they have to eat chicken Kiev?
I believe so. I believe it is in the doctrine.
Apart from when the mortar shells are smouldering, they're going to get cold, aren't they? And then you know what happens? All the butter gets all congealed. It's not very nice, really. Although I am going on the basis of I've only ever eaten the frozen ones you buy from a supermarket. I'd imagine they've probably got a much more authentic and original way of doing it, haven't they? It'll be more homemade. I don't really know if this is helping us sort out the big issue of Ukraine's opposition.
Well, I mean, you know...
What we need to know, isn't it?
We do, actually. What I'd like to know... Go on.
I think they just have peas and pineapple. I think that's an English thing.
No, they have chicken Kievs, but like you said, the traditional method of a Kiev, the garlicky butter interior is kept much more well, shall we say, than those frozen varieties that I myself and you yourself enjoy. They're very nice, but you're quite right. The liquid inside, it's gone within seconds, really.
The injured Ukrainian opposition leader, Dmitry Bulatov, because he went to Lithuania for medical treatment.
He got beaten up, didn't he? Didn't you
Yeah,
get
do you
taken off the
reckon he'd
street?
have Yeah, well, he did, but what I'm thinking is, when he got taken to Lithuania, they have spotted dick on the menu in the... You have to have, like, a baklava or something similar.
I think Bakava, yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
I don't know what injuries he got, but I presume if he's got, like, a mouth or a hand injury, would he be handled a broth, or would they make it more of a soup?
A broth. Richard, Mark, rather, do you have anything to say about the problems in Ukraine at the moment and people fighting?
I think the president, is it Viktor Yanukovych, apparently?
Yeah.
I think he's missing a trick. He should get UKIP over there to dissuade the people from rioting, because they're obviously rioting to join the EU. I mean, that's the easy way out, but obviously he won't think of that.
Yeah. I'll get Farage over there.
He wants to be in the EU, doesn't he? Because obviously they're calling for his resignation, but he's now back at work after 4 days of illness. But the reason he's back is because obviously he can only self-certify for 3 days. So that's why he's not back on the 4th day.
Damn that policy.
Yeah. That's why he wants to join the EU, because they get relaxed medical laws, don't they?
Well, I think he's still got I think the self-certification when he's off sick is the same, but yeah, I see where you're coming at. Last night, gentlemen, it was the Superb Owl. Did anyone watch the Superb Owl?
What is this Superb Owl?
It's the
What is it?
Apparently, it's there's a sport in America.
Yeah, it's called rubbish rugby.
Rubbish rugby. I thought we could have a bit more of a grown-up conversation about it. You know, it's.
Can I just ask the pair of you to do one thing for me?
Yep.
If we talk about that sport, right, because for no reason, because the word association is one of many words associated with, which still, even then, doesn't work, right? So we have to call it soccer because of the Americans. Now, I want to either call it Thrubble.
Thrubble? I like Thrubble, yeah.
Football, obviously you use your feet, but American football you don't, apart from the odd field goal.
Mm.
So I want to condense that to Thrubble, for throw ball. Or, because of National Football League, we should call it Nuttle, or something like that, because it doesn't make any sense. It's a really bastardised corruption of a word in the official association, and yeah, get some own back on them.
Oh, okay, we can start referring to it as Thrubble going forward on the show. Thrubble. It was. I heard something on Talksport about it, because unfortunately we only ever talk about it at Super Bowl time, but as English people we have kind of two ways of looking at Thrubble, and that's it's rugby with padding on, and it's proper gear, or it's not football, it's Thrubble. But yeah, it's a great sport. Yeah, I mean, has either of you watched it? Have either of you actually taken the time out to watch a bit of Thrubble? It's good.
I've watched lots of Thrubble in the
Thrubble.
past.
Yeah.
I was quite a fan of Thrubble in the 1980s when it first started being shown over on Channel 4. I think it was who first started showing it.
Yeah.
It's an excellent sport. It's a really good sport, and there's no need to compare it to rugby or anything else. It stands up on its own as a good sport. I think.
I agree, but I also agree, as Richard said, on the bastardisation of the name. But we've solved that tonight, so it's free for everyone to watch. I think
We'll Twitter trend it. It'll be fine.
I'm not. No. There was a guy on Talksport kind of claim, an American guy found him, and he was like, it's the best sport in the world, and Super Bowl is the most watched thing in the world. Super Bowl is, and then they actually went out and researched the facts. I think there was something, I can't remember, it's something like 10.5 million or something like that unique views for Super Bowl the one year, and I think it was 750 million for the World Cup final.
I find that 10.5 million.
No, I think it was 100 million. It might have been 10 or 100 million. It was basically 7 or 70 times the amount of people.
Why? You can prove anything with facts, Keith.
Watch the World Cup, and it wasn't to kind of prove that one's more popular than the other, but it was showing that football, actual football, is still just
of course, yeah.
ridiculously over the top. But it's like baseball, isn't it? They have a World Series in baseball, yet they're the only fucking country that plays it.
Oh, don't
But that was named after the World was the name of the newspaper group that sponsored it, wasn't it?
And whilst that made sense then, it doesn't anymore. And I think they should be made to change the name because it makes them look like dicks.
Well, they are dicks.
They are dicks.
Yeah.
Not all Americans.
What
Not
did you
all
say,
Americans
Keith?
are
I'm not allowed
dicks.
to call it glorified rounders.
That's all it is. Big ponces.
Not all Americans are that way inclined. I just don't like baseball. Never been a big fan of baseball. Quite like a bit of trouble. Not never.
It's just cricket for people with ADHD.
You know what I don't like about American football, right?
Yeah.
You go and play football, and it takes an hour and a half.
Yes.
Right? And that's just like if you were making love to a woman. That's your normal time.
Whoa,
but
whoa, whoa.
NFL,
Eh?
right? It's on for 3 times as long as it should be. So it gets to the point where the only people who would enjoy something of that length are dickheads like Sting having tantric sex. So
Yeah, but at
basically,
least you
what
get
you're
free
saying,
time
Keith,
out.
Yeah.
yeah, what you're saying, Keith, is basically if you're a wanker, like what you're saying directly,
Okay.
sex.
You've proved something there. I'll give you that. Definitely. But I just wanted to mention that it's a shame we only ever talk about it.
Personally.
Yeah, and in such a bad way. It was really hard to find fans or proper fans over here of Throuble. That give a shit. But you're talking about how it was shown on Channel 4. It's now shown on Channel 5 quite regularly. And if you've got Sky Sports, you pretty much can go a whole season without missing many matches. So it is still pretty good. I got some really sad news now, guys. We have to mention everything on the show, so here we go. The French comic at the centre of the Nicholas and Elk anti-Semitism row is banned from Britain. Dieudonné is no longer allowed in Britain.
It's tragic.
Well, how long for?
I don't know, ever, forever, for hundreds of thousands of years, and he can be fined up to £10,000 if the ban is breached.
Why is he coming over to Britain?
He
Just
doesn't-
because he's had a bit of publicity here and he wanted to exploit it?
No, he doesn't want to come over here. It's just our politicians
Oh,
jumping
okay.
on the back of a fucking. Oh well, you can't say that, surely not. And let's ban this fat Frenchman. He's fat. It reeks of hypocrisy. It really does. The man has no reason to come over here. He doesn't want to come over here. It's just someone trying to make a name for themselves in the government by making a point of saying, well, we'll not have any of your kind here. Yes, you can't have those theories. Even though we quite happily, legally let Roy Chubby Brown go around saying whatever the fuck he wants about any other race under the planet, but that's something completely different. Sorry, Mark, what do you think about that? I think it's a little silly, but go on.
I think you're probably right in
Yeah.
that it's the government just trying to point score and appeal to a certain person by saying he's banned when if he hasn't actually attempted to come here.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I wouldn't want a prick like that coming into the country anyway. I don't think his being in the country would bring
Yeah.
anything good to the country.
No, I agree with that as well.
It could only cause trouble, I think, in being here, wouldn't it?
Well, it seems, he's a French comedian who's only really ever played French shows. He doesn't appear to have any reason to want to come over here. It just seems to be, stop it now. It's getting fucking stupid. We understand. I don't know. Maybe it's this middle class fucking way of thinking that if we don't say no to something and state our voice loud, someone might call us an anti-Semite, or someone might think we're somehow associated with them, which obviously isn't true. Sorry, Richard, do you have any point on that at all?
Yeah, I think let him in. Bring him over. Let him in.
Get him in. Bit of dude on
What
there.
they should force him to do is to eat pie and chips. Eat pie and chips, watch Only Fools and Horses. Actually, do you know what would be even worse? We'll make him watch Keeping Up Appearances and then go, this is what English people like, humour-wise. See how you get on. But you've got to adapt what you want to speak about to Hyacinth Bouquet. You do, and he'd never come anyway. That's what they should do. They should get him in Charles de Gaulle Airport and then get his flight delayed and then say, right, we've got something English stuff for you to watch. I can watch about 4 or 5 episodes of that. He'll never set foot over here.
That's a good point.
Fucking bother, would he?
That's a good point. Tragic news there, actually, really tragic news. Philip Seymour Hoffman passed away yesterday. A fantastic actor, I think we'll all agree, really.
I'm a big fan.
I like what he's been in. Twister, as I mentioned before. Brilliant film. A Red Dragon. Is it Red Dragon? Did you see Red Dragon? The
remake.
The Silence of the Lambs.
Not Manhunt.
Not Manhunter, yeah.
Yeah.
He plays a press guy who gets killed, and it's absolutely brilliant. Really, really was quite good. Yep, so that's really sad news. Okay, if you bear with us, we're going to go just now to an advert break here from one of our many sponsors, who somewhat fund the show.
Yeah, I'm Tom Baker. Yeah, Doctor Who, Curly Hair, Doctor Who. Yeah, when I'm travelling through space, I meet some crazy animals and some crazy creatures. I find that if I want to speak to them, sometimes communication can be a bit of a barrier. That's why I use the Jericho 3000 translation machine. For instance, if I'm speaking to some dolphins, and they're telling me something, and I want to know what the dolphins are trying to tell me, Tom Baker, I'll put it through the machine, and let's give it a go anyway. Here we go. Put that in the machine, and let's have a look what he says, shall we? Here we go, just feed it in. Press the button, simple as, here we go. Alright there, Tom. Next time you're down on Earth, can you get Richard Smith to run us up a coracle? Maybe two coracles. Cheers, pal. Like the hair.
Welcome back to the 665. If you are just joining us, well, that's rather strange. You should go back and listen to the first part first, because this video isn't actually sliced up. Either way, I'm going to tell you that you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/the665 show, on Twitter at twitter.com/the665 show. Obviously, you're on the YouTube site, so like and subscribe to the video, please. And if you want to email and ask the show any questions, you can directly at the665show@gmail.com. Mark.
Keith.
Talk to me.
Okay.
About subject.
The weather. I want to talk about the weather.
Oh.
Now, I know last time we did this, I was completely appalled by the idea of speaking about the weather, but I don't know if you saw, I'm pretty sure you did see the story of the mini tornado that ripped through Cobham in Surrey.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now, in its wake, it obviously left the usual tattered path of demolished rickety barns, trees bare of leaves and distressed wheelie bins. Mercifully, it ignored Chelsea's Cobham training ground.
Oh.
And the London Bus Museum.
Oh, thank God for that.
Which I'm sure we're all pleased about.
Well, yes, small things, mate. Yeah, small things.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you... Do you know Cobham? I mean, the fact that Chelsea have got a training ground there should tell you something about Cobham. It's like a idyllic village near Guildford.
Oh, okay. So it's rather full of very expensive people and very expensive things. Lovely area. Yeah,
exactly. Right. Basically, if Dorothy had been whisked up in the Cobham tornado to Oz, she'd already have owned a pair of ruby slippers, thus rendering the whole thing pretty pointless. So, yeah, it's that kind of place. Very posh, very nice. Okay. But the highlight of the entire thing was horse owner Shirley Blay describing how she saw a pack of feral cats that lived in her barn whisked 6 feet off the ground and blown around like paper bags. So if you can just picture these cats being whisked 6 foot into the air and blown around like paper bags. Now, I'm not calling Shirley Blay's account of it into question. But I think basically what she mistook for paper bag what she mistook for cats were probably paper bags
Well, actually,
at the end of the day.
yeah, they were
Uh,
paper bags.
You know, other news from the tornado was that a dog, at least, one dog was electrocuted when he stepped in a puddle by a fallen power line. So it's very much like an animal-focused tornado.
It looked like it was going for him, didn't it? Just as another point, in other news, yesterday a sinkhole opened up in this in a street somewhere, and a whole car fell down it. I first read it and thought it said cat. Sorry, go ahead.
Was it a paper bag? You see, an animal welfare spokesman in Cobham said
fuck's
it was like something from a Steven Spielberg movie.
What?
I haven't seen that one.
No, I'm yet to see Cat
The one
Twister.
with the dog being electrocuted.
Can we
I am a big fan of the slightly levitated cat saga.
And it's brilliant, isn't it? I'd pay good money to see that.
I would.
But I think we should all be really thankful that it was in Cobham, in Surrey, that this happened, and not Lincolnshire. Because, if people had witnessed cats dancing in midair and dogs dying in Lincolnshire, they'd have burnt Shirley Blair as a witch, clearly.
Yeah, they probably would. Yeah, they have some strange views there.
In other weather news, did you see that? I mean, this is going back a couple of weeks now, but did you hear the UKIP councillor from Henley-on-Thames who said flooding and storms are caused by the Prime Minister's plans to legalise gay marriage?
Yeah, I don't know who this was, but he's a fucking genius, isn't he? What a.
Let me quote from him.
Yeah.
The scriptures make it abundantly clear that a Christian nation that abandons its faith and acts contrary to the gospel will be beset by natural disasters such as storms, disease, pestilence and war.
Does he know we're doing this show and he just thinks, I've got to say any old shit to get on or something? Is that it? He just goes, I know it'll be a slow news week. Let's blame the flooding on the gays.
Yeah, he went on to say that no man, however powerful, can mess with Almighty God with impunity and get away with it.
I think he was thinking about Hulk Hogan there, not actually the Almighty God. He was thinking about the Hulkster.
I know. I mean, I've got 3 questions for God, if this is true, right?
Yeah.
If God can smite a country in a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of way,
Yeah.
why doesn't he just save himself the time by ceasing to make people who offend him with bum sex? I mean, all that anger can't be good for a deity.
That's a bloody good point you've raised.
Second
there.
question, sodomy, what's Gomorrah?
Makes sense. I don't want to look. I'm not going on the internet to look there, that's for sure.
And finally, are dying people in drought-plagued areas of Eastern Africa looking for rain clouds as they lube up to bugger each other to try and drink their rain?
That's funny because they do.
Yeah, he must genuinely believe that to be true. Then, mustn't he? He must believe it. It's amazing. I'm obviously appalled that. I'm not even appalled. I'm just.
I mean, are they weighing up? Are they weighing up a dry throat against a ripped arsehole?
I'm genuinely like, last chance now, lads. There's only one thing left we can do. Get the poppers out.
What I find quite difficult, say if you're lying in bed, you want to it's dark and you stretch for your glass of your water. Say if you have a glass of water in the middle of the night.
Or whiskey in Mark's
Well,
case.
It's pitch black, so you feel around, don't you, with your hand, the thing out of the Addams Family.
Yeah.
And then you feel, where is it? You feel the tip of your glass. You precariously hook your finger over the rim of the glass and tip it towards you, just so that it's within reach, and then you grip it.
Right.
And you have a drink, but you only half sit up, don't you? Because you're in bed, you want upstairs as still as possible. So then you go and put it down, and I don't know if you've ever had this, but you put it on the coaster, but you can't see where the centre of the coaster is, so you get a slight tilt. And there's obviously that problem where it could spill, or it could fall over, rendering you with an empty glass, which isn't good if you could wake up again in the night before you wake up properly for the morning. And also, if you've got any electrical items down there,
Christ, yeah.
Can you imagine that? So all I'm saying is, I've found out that using a beer mat is much better than a coaster. So,
What
just,
kind of shape beer mat would you need, though, Rich?
Well, I think the way I see it is that you want like a pentagonal shaped one or a heptagonal one, just so that you can find the centre easier.
Where could you get something like that, though? Because they tend to be just square, don't they?
Yeah, I've
Yes,
never seen one.
If you leave it with me, mate, I think there's going to be very high quality but low priced beer mats on offer.
Okay.
You know what? I look forward to seeing that, Richard, because you've truly identified man's biggest flaw in our coaster design, and hopefully you will be the one who comes and saves us, I should say, from such things.
I'm only here for one thing, and that's to help.
That's wonderful, that is.
Beautiful.
Mark,
Yeah?
what was that MP's name? Have you got his name?
Charles Fuckbucket. No, I don't know, right? I don't know.
Is the Right Honourable Fuckbucket still a member of UKIP? I take it not.
Yeah, he's a councillor, isn't he, for Henley-on-Thames, which isn't a million miles
Of
away.
course, he's a member of UKIP. You're only allowed to be a member of UKIP if you are a racist, a sexist,
A homophobe.
or a homophobe.
Yeah. Just...
Well, at least you read the Daily Mail. You have to carry a copy of the Daily Mail under your arm to join the party, apparently. Do you read the Daily Mail, Keith?
I don't really buy any newspapers anymore, as it's, it's 2014. I'll just get my news from the internet. It's mostly fucking lies anyway, wherever you read it, isn't it?
Yeah, stick it to the man.
Yeah, fuck 'em. Chuckle Brothers, take the stand at Daily Trade Destroy.
See, I read The Guardian.
Oh, you do actually read The Guardian?
Well, I buy it. I say I read it.
You buy it?
I look at the pictures.
Oh.
And feel smug and superior.
I would,
That's the whole point of buying it, really. I mean, what other newspaper could I possibly buy?
Well, that's it, because we rip the Daily Mail, but, that's kind of what taken the place of the Sun nowadays, would you say? Because the Sun's slid down to the sport level of what's acceptable, and then after that, really, I don't really want to read it. I can't be bothered.
Well, once you come to terms with the fact that you hate Rupert Murdoch,
yeah,
like you're not interested in the death of Diana,
yeah,
or you don't believe Bulgarians are trying to rape the Queen or something, and you're not a fucking idiot, then the Guardian's the only sensible choice, yeah? I know that you probably think that it's read by 99% tree huggers and devotees of English folk music, yeah?
I don't even think that. I think 99% of it people like you who buy it just that you can look
I was
like
going to say you'd only be half right, because the other 50% of us, like me, read it because we're pretentious, arty, lefty wankers.
Yeah. Just look at me with The Guardian.
Right. I've got a little story for you, right?
Go on.
Got a friend who works in a nursery, yeah? And obviously it's a council nursery, and obviously with council cutbacks, they were encouraged to take newspapers into the work to lay on the tables. For the kids to put the things on the paper on while they're painting pictures and stuff. Okay? My friend's a Guardian reader as well, so takes in my friend, nudge nudge, takes in old pictures of, old newspapers of the Guardian, takes them in there sort of thing. Anyway, Michael Gove's been in the area recently. He's been over to visit. The education.
I mean, that is, Keith.
Never
You know
heard of
Michael
him.
Gove, yeah?
No.
Basically, he lives in your mirror.
Thin bloke with the glasses. Well, anyway, so he comes over.
No, stop there. Let me explain to everyone before everyone goes, what the fuck are they on about Michael Gove for? I've bought some new glasses. They make me look very much like a fat Michael Gove. Carry on.
Keith, that's a horrible thing to say about yourself.
But it is a bit true.
I think you're a fat Michael Gove, but you don't half look like Michael Gove.
Fuck, it does, don't I?
Fuck! It's horrible.
You are the fucking Governator.
I am Gove himself.
So...
You support Brighton and Gove Albion.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is.
So Michael Gove... No, I'm not talking to you, Keith. I'm just carrying on.
Oh, sorry, mate. I thought it was me. Go on.
Michael Gove comes into the nursery to be shown around. All the school governors are there. The head's there showing them around. And he's going around to the tables, and the kids are all painting. And they're all clucking around him, sort of thing. And kids are painting pictures of houses with cars outside and smiling families. With nice bright suns in the sky. And what are you painting? Blah, going around and looking at them all. Goes to one table, and the little girl there's painting. And so what are you painting here? And it says it's a woman being eaten by a monster. Okay.
Mm.
And wow, look, everyone else is painting these nice, bright, cheery pictures. So they say, well, why are you painting that? And she points at the newspaper. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where it says, the banner headline, Erotic Japanese Art, The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife, Hokuzai Exhibition. Now, I don't know if you know this. It's a picture of a Japanese woman laid back, being orally pleasured by two octopus. The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife. It's a famous erotic painting in Japan. And The Guardian have covered this. And this kid's painting it in front of Michael Gove.
That is... I'm looking at the picture. That's fucking disturbing for a start. But we see where they get all
he later went on to team up with Mark's Gran and started to predict football scores in the World Cup.
You can see why the Japanese are into their tentacle porn anyway, because this is obviously the first showings of that. Look at that. That was created in 1820, and they're still watching tentacle porn now. You've learned something new off the show. Don't fucking lie and act like you haven't. Mark's taught them something new. In the way.
Do you know what? And I did it
as well.
I did it in the medium of lying.
Yeah, or an
Because
anecdote.
that story wasn't true.
Oh, you.
No, it was.
Bastard.
It was true.
Yeah. You got to say it now, haven't you? I called you. Yeah, so found out why Japanese are into tentacle porn. Well, we haven't, obviously. It's fucking weird. Go on, mate.
I'll just ask a question. You know you're talking about JML before?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to do a review, if that's all right.
But please go ahead. Nothing would make me happier.
I don't know whether you've seen the adverts
Okay.
on the English television, on the terrestrial TV channels, but there's been a lot of a counterculture or an undercurrent where people have been stupidly, like anyone's arse, no pun intended, that they use baby wipes. So say if you go to a festival, you take some baby wipes with you because of obviously the trials and tribulations that we all know about going to the toilet at a festival. So what they've done now is Andrex have got this thing called washlets out.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So basically what they've tried to do is they've tried to market it at adults, and obviously with most adverts they're preying on the weak and stupid. So there's going to be some people out here who have gone, oh yeah, well, I need that in my life, just like I need a toothbrush that has got a special thing for me to brush my tongue. Right? So there's these people who are idiots, right? But I thought it's unfair of me just to deride it. I thought I'd give it a review.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, right? If you bear with me, gentlemen,
You're not going to go for a shit now, are you?
I'm just going to try it. No, I'm just going to try it. So hold on. I'm just going to undo my trousers now. I've find where I've put the stuff because I put it in my bag, but I haven't put the main light on in my house. So hold on. I think I've got it here. All right. Okay, so I've got. I think that. Yeah, that's it. I've got them now. So let's give it a go. I'm just gonna get out now and.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm a bit scared.
I'm a little bit scared.
I wasn't expecting it to feel like. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Richard, put it down. Put it.
Ow! God! What? Oh!
Richard, do you need us to call somebody?
Oh, hang on! Oh God! Oh, it was the kitchen foil. That was terrible. I don't know. Oh shit! I've got the kitchen foil. Oh, my roast chicken. Oh, it's all right. I've just looked at the receipt. It's lemon. I'm just having lemon chicken tonight.
That's all right.
That's what you having?
Yeah, that's
I was going to have chicken Kiev, but oh, I can't sit down now, lads.
It's not a surprise, man. That's not a surprise. I'm
really embarrassed.
I don't know why. as I mentioned earlier, you can send questions to the show. And believe it or not, someone has sent us a question, gentlemen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please.
Mark, would you like to? In fact, I'm gonna hand over to Mark to do this one. Mark, have you got the question there in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant. And if you'd
I
like
have
to
the question.
maybe mention who sent the question in.
Been
And...
written on an Andrex Wasslers.
It's written on a chicken. Yeah, it's been sent in by keen reader Terry Kendall.
King Reader. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, who's based down in Portsmouth and is a huge Portsmouth football fan.
Big
In fact, I think his brother used to play for Portsmouth.
Oh, okay.
And his question is quite simple, quite concise and to the point, and he'd like the question answering by the panel. Southampton. Why? That's your question. That's the inaugural question.
The inaugural question is Southampton.
Why?
A bit like the question Rosson. Why?
Southampton. Why? Richard?
I mean, as I say, whenever when the gay mafia come round my house, why not?
Have you ever been to Southampton?
Oh yeah,
You've
oh
missed
yeah. I went to a football match last year. I didn't really see much of it, to be honest with you. Only the stadium and a couple of pubs. I didn't really go into the town centre, so I can't really speak about it.
Well, I'd answer it as Southampton exists to make people in Winchester even more smug.
Okay.
That's Southampton why for me.
Okay.
You realise that if we never had Southampton, we wouldn't have two of the most cultural, iconic people that have ever been born.
Go ahead.
There's Scott Mills and Craig David.
Scott Mills is a cunt.
Craig David.
There you go. I got not a problem with Craig David. Not a problem with the man.
What?
Not a problem. He wants to rewind, do whatever, but don't mention him next to that fucking devil succubus twat. I hate Scott. I fucking hate the bloke. He's a knob. When I used to work in Blockbuster, he used to do the voiceover for Blockbuster Television, or whatever the fuck it was called. And I had to listen to that man's fucking repetitive droning voice for years and years, and then finally he made it big as a fucking radio DJ. So yeah, cunt. Being as Terry is our listener though, a reader, and we appreciate him, I'm just going to say yes, fucking shithole in it, Southampton. So there you go. If that helps
Been
at
to
all.
Southampton once.
Yeah, it's a shithole.
It was a Tuesday and it was boring.
Yeah.
It really. It's
Stupid bloody
nondescript, isn't it?
Tuesdays.
Fucking Tuesdays. It was quite grim, I'll be honest. Where the ground is now, because they've moved it, I think, or they've redone it up. It's very grim.
It is. It's in a very rough area, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of.
Southampton.
We saw a couple of rather dodgy areas down by where the stadium is, and this it wasn't very nice. Pubs were okay, mind you. Saying that, we found a couple of pubs and they were all right, but it wasn't very nice where the stadium was.
I think Southampton is the closest city to the New Forest, isn't it?
Mm.
Probably is. Or is it closer
I
than
think
Winchester?
I think Southampton Water, from what I remember, it's the confluence of the River Test, isn't it?
Wow. That's some. That's.
Remember doing that in geography, gents?
No. I made a volcano. Didn't work.
Who's from Portsmouth? I mean, it's a Portsmouth versus Southampton kind of thing. Isn't
Yeah.
it? That's what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Who's actually from Portsmouth of any note? I mean, apart from Terry
Apart
Kendall
from Terry Kendall. Fucking Terry Kendall.
and his
Listener,
brother
listener of the 665. I think that's-
Dickens. Charles Dickens.
Really?
Mm.
That'll do, mate. That's pretty fucking big. That is. That's better than
I don't know
fucking.
if he was born there, but he lived there for a long time. He lived there for a while
right.
before I think his father was thrown into a poorhouse, moved to London, or he was abducted by a ghost of Christmas present. It gets a bit muddled, but something like that. But yeah, Dickens definitely lived there. I used to walk by his house on my way to work.
He is listed as someone who was born there as well. He was listed as being born in Portsmouth.
Was he born there?
That's pretty cool. That is. That's cool. It's cooler than Scott fucking Mills, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
That is good. That is good. You know what
Chris
I like
Packham.
to do? It's Chris Packham from there.
From Southampton.
Packham. I watched this TV show with him the other day, and he spent about 20 minutes doing all these experiments with dogs to see whether dogs use their eyes or their noses to find things, and it came out that they use their noses. I was like, well, you've spent all that time doing that.
Oh, I saw. I read about that.
We already knew that. And then he was making birds fly past some fucking stripy wallpaper.
Yeah, because he killed a dog, didn't he?
What the?
Yeah, because one of the dogs messed up one of the results and messed up his findings completely. So he cut its head off.
It's terrible.
Oh no,
he cut his head off. He cut his head off with a coaster. Now, I don't know if you know, but if you got a crying child in a pub, all you got to do is you put like a beer mat over a ringed hand, and you can use your little finger to punch through it, which is like a nice little trick for like an 8-year-old kid, and I love that. Whereas if you kill a dog with a coaster, that just proves that beer mats are far better than coasters, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tell you, my ex-girlfriend started investing in coasters.
I know it's not the same thing, but in Portsmouth, Virginia, US of A, Wanda Sykes, Patton Oswalt, the comedian actor, Missy Elliott.
Elliott's from Southampton.
No, she's from Portsmouth.
Portsmouth's a very, very working class city, along with the naval connection, obviously. But it's a very working class place. I think Southampton's probably a little bit more well-to-do.
That's saying that's.
But having said that, I like Portsmouth more for it's a proper football place. Is Portsmouth, whereas Southampton, you sort of get the impression that they're all just trotting along. For Winchester, for the fun of watching some common people kicking a ball about. Oh, what larks!
Oh, what larks! Right then, I think that's about it, lads. Unless, of course, either of you have anything more to mention.
Oh, well, I just wanted to quickly mention that, I've started seeing someone. So, obviously, my love tips have been working.
Well,
so I thought,
what's his name?
Well, I'm not going to talk about that just yet, but what I do want to say...
Yeah.
What I do want to say is thanks to all the support of all the listeners, because they've obviously helped me. But I just wanted to give a little bit back. So there's basically... I said there's a tip on seducing women, because I've been quite successful. Obviously, I've done the easel thing, and that worked.
Yeah.
Those people who haven't listened to the other episodes, go back to the other episodes.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
The way that I'm really good with women. But... One thing you want to do is, once you've seen the woman, you want to try and prove to her afterwards that you're still interested. So you've got to send like a little text, and people think, oh, what sort of thing should we put? So what you want to do is to put something really, really romantic. So what you do is obviously say if you have a kiss and then you go off, and then you want to send them another text. What you want to do is send a text just saying, I really need to kiss you again. We're so far away.
No, you see...
Hold on. This isn't the killer line.
Yeah.
The killer line is, because obviously you think, oh yeah, that's nice, but I need a bit more. So you go, oh, I really need to kiss you again. But we're so far away. If only you were like Freddy Krueger and you could send your tongue down a phone line.
Oh, that's ruined it for me.
Has it? Because I thought that'd be better.
When you said... Oh, go on.
To say she was a bit pissed off with me, because what I did was before to flirt with her, I was telling her about the length of my cock. And... like, she was really disappointed cause when I got it out, erect, and she says, oh, I thought you said your penis was as long as a plank. And I said, no, you misheard me. I said, my cock is actually a plank length, which obviously, as we all know in quantum mechanics, it's a millionth of a billionth of a billionth of a centimetre long. So, yeah. So whatever you do, if you tell a girl that you've got a plank length, just obviously explain to them that they need to brush up
on their quantum physics beforehand.
When you were saying she's so that's beautiful that you want to give me a kiss, but I need a little bit more. I thought you were going to say something along the lines of, so I texted her that I wanted to finger her in a bus stop. Something romantic like that. Arthur Conan Doyle, Christopher Hitchens, Rudyard Kipling, H.G. Wells, all from Portsmouth.
H.G. Wells, that's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Quite well for itself here. Well, shouldn't we be redressing the balance by finding some famous Portsmouthians?
These are all
Portsmouthians.
Oh, okay.
We need Southamptonians. That's the problem.
Nobody. It's got nout.
I feel, for the fucking sake of our very good friend, we shouldn't find any of them anyway. And by the look of it, I think you're right.
They've also got that stupid fucking tattooed bell-ringing twat who goes to the football matches. Doesn't say that on Wikipedia, though.
No, I can't.
I just quickly wanted to mention...
Yeah?
Al-Qaeda.
Oh, for fuck... Yeah.
Okay, he's not a Portsmouth resident.
Are you sure? He's from Southampton?
Yeah. But okay, as you know, so Al-Qaeda, it was formed at the end of the Russian-Afghan War.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so a group of Mujahideen with Osama bin Laden there all got together and decided to form this terror network, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. So they actually drew up a criteria that people had to meet to be allowed to blow innocent infidels up.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was things like they had to be attentive, they had to be quick to learn. Okay. They had to believe in the cause, obviously, you know. And strangely enough, yeah, they had to be well-mannered and polite.
Wow. Really?
That's really fucking weird. That should be some of the criteria. You know, where does that come into it? You know, always give up your seat for a pregnant woman before you detonate a suicide bomb on the bus.
Suicide bomb, yeah. Oh.
That's why I never eat in KFC, because if I go to a restaurant and there's silver service, I'll just shit myself.
Please, will you remove your troops from the Holy Land?
Please. Otherwise we are going to have to get a bit violent again. Yeah, but I suppose that was like a different time as well. During that time, the Mujahideen especially were seen as sort of great warriors, and it's a different kind of... It's a different time now.
Gentlemen terrorists.
No, but definitely more. Remember, they were getting it. They were also taking a fair bit of slack from the Russians shortly before this as well. It was only the fact the fucking CIA went in there and gave them shitloads of weaponry that they ever fucking won that. Fuck me, that got a bit deep.
Mohammed, you've shown amazing jihadi skills. You can strip down, clean, and reassemble a Kalashnikov and be ready to kill in 45 seconds. You understand the only way to rid the world of the curse of modernity is by taking up arms in the name of radical Islam. Your suicide vests are fiendishly intricate, yet simple to use, and you can recite scripture at will. However, you continually fail to cover your mouth with your hand when you're coughing. Fuck off back to your job in real estate. I just don't see how it's important.
No.
I don't see how it fits in.
Things have changed. It's a lot less on the old entry to a criteria now. And on that happy note, please like, favourite, comment, subscribe to the video. Hopefully you will see us again in 2 weeks' time. Mark, say goodbye to the lovely people.
Goodbye.
Richard, say goodbye to the lovely people.
Say goodbye by saying congratulations to the actor Ben Foster, because he's now going out with Robin Wright. So goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.